Hi, I'm Randy Wooden, and welcome to another in our Edge Library series, this time talking to military folks and dealing with a tough question of tell me about yourself. Now, I don't know if you've been faced with this question yet. I imagine you have, but if you haven't, you will. And actually, it's probably the most common question, as well as, for many, the most difficult question that you're going to face. So, you need to have a game plan. That's what we're here for. We're actually going to have two segments on this. In this segment, I'm going to talk a little bit about sort of the questions I get from my clients over the years about the question of tell me about yourself. And then in the second segment, we will cover a structure, an actual acronym I put together in a class that I used to teach that really seems to work well for people to help them stay focused on their answer. So, having said that, let's start. First of all, do you talk professional or personal? 99% of the time it's professional. So just assume that they mean professional. Secondly, I get questions about, well, how detailed should I get? Especially if you've had 20 years of experience. How detailed do you really want to be with this? When do I be quiet? That's another. How long do I talk? So it's how detailed do I get, and how long should I talk? And when I'm all done, do I say, well, I'm done? What do you do? So here's my thought on it. You want to be relatively brief. I'm talking maybe 30, 45 seconds. Does not need to be a long answer. I would even argue that it's not so much important what you're saying, but rather how you're saying it. Let's face it, somebody could be very, very boring. And we've all worked with people that are monotone. They're kind of dry and boring, and when they tell a joke, nobody knows it's a joke. Now, they may have the best words, but their delivery of those words stinks, and that's a problem. So the same thing with you. You may have some great experience, some great skills, but if you come across as trying too hard, if desperate, if you come across as overly nervous or as clueless in terms of how to conduct yourself in an interview, rambling, too fidgety, all those things, they're looking at this and they're saying, do I picture this person in front of my customers? Or can I picture this person in front of my other employees? Do I think that they will fit in? Do they seem friendly? Do they seem professional? So there's a lot at stake here and a lot of things going on sort of behind the scenes. And you're sitting there saying, okay, I need to answer this question, so what do I say? And that's what we'll cover in our next segment. But understand it's important to end the question and your answer to that question with another question back at the employer, because it'll kind of stake out your turf here and say, look, you know what, I'm okay in asking questions. Because again, an interview should be a dialogue, a conversation back and forth. And I think if you can establish that ability early on to ask a question, then it helps you to ask questions later on during the interview, and it gives you a chance to think, a chance to relax a little bit, sort of puts you in control. And if you think back to when you went through boot camp and you didn't have that chance to, when that drill instructor would come by, you didn't have that chance to ask questions. You basically, did whatever it was you were told. And an interview is not that. This is really a different dynamic, and it's very important to understand that. So in the next segment, we'll cover this GEESE, G-E-E-S-E. We'll cover the GEESE acronym and why that's important for you in formulating your answer to tell me about yourself. And that's going to wrap it up for this segment in our Edge Library series dealing with military folks. And it's, again, part one of the Tell Me About Yourself answer. I'm Randy Wooden. Thanks for watching.